Well, we got that fourth leg under the paver, or yeah, on the paver now. The paver underneath it. Got our post behind it in. The one went in good, the other one didn't so much. And we redid this one. Instead of having the stakes tied up at the top, I'm going to run rebar across like that. And hopefully my bolt cutters are big enough to cut them stakes off, because I need some longer pieces of rebar. The pieces I have left over are pretty short there now, so I'm going to have to run back out and find my bolt cutters, and if I can get these cut off, those pieces should be long enough to finish wiring up the other three, the corners. You know, I'm thinking as long as I get at least an inch of concrete around that stuff, with the rebar being in there, everything ought to get solid there together, and shouldn't be any chance of this thing really blowing over. Now we got all four corners ready for got a rebar put around and all tied together, so I'll take a little break and then see how well it goes carrying 80-pound bag of concrete back here to get this started. So there's my mixing bucket and my first go of concrete, and I got a kitty litter bucket of water to work with. So we'll see how far we get today with that. I definitely think I'm going to have to get more water, but we'll see how far we can get. I'd rather this be on the thicker side and seem to be running, going where I'm going here with it. if I can. I want to get the slit up in underneath that leg.
No, I don't have.
Okay, we got a little concrete around each post. I come up and did some more of that yesterday evening because it drizzled all day and I didn't want to come up and do it while it was raining. But once it cleared, I come up. I'm going to end up putting at least another bag between all 4 posts. But everything ought to be solid enough now that it shouldn't move around on me any. And today we're going to get our ladder brace put in, our shooting rails or our handrails for the top of the ladder, and the braces for them put on here. And then hopefully we'll get them branches that are in the way up there trimmed out and get the shooting rail put around and pretty well get it finished putting together today. That's a replacement lock nut. For the one I lost. So I'm gonna have to either recharge my drill or something to get that taken down where it should be. Or I might have to just get a couple of wrenches and put on it. Now we gotta figure out how I'm gonna get them braces carried up there, and we'll get them put on. And we're just gonna see if we can't carry this up here. It ain't real heavy. Okay, while I was up there cutting them branches down, I got to looking at them posts coming up. And I thought I had them on there wrong to begin with, but I had them on there. Had the right bolts loose to put them on the first time. I'm going to have to take all of them 4 corner posts back off and put them around the other side in order for my bolt holes to line up right. I wasn't paying attention to them earlier whenever I was putting it together. So that's going to be a fun job to do now that it's up there in the air without dropping anything. And I ain't going to show that on camera. I'll just do that off camera and carry on. Okay, now I gotta put one nut on that one. I drop one, or switch them brackets around, and then see if you can see this. Oh, there it is. That hole's got to be facing in towards the middle on that bracket. That's where I messed up. But the instructions said put it on the left side, and I had it on the right side, or on the left side to begin with the first time around, but I was just trying to put it in there backwards or something. So now we got to put the shooting rail around, and I got to get that one nut put on that brace yet. And I don't know how easy this shooting rail is going to be to get on here, because I put it all together thinking it would be easier. Oh, the big thing, what, they got rid of some of the hardware to where I don't have a chance to drop so much up here is really the big thing. But and it got some of the pieces cleaned up off the floor in the cabin. I'm going to try starting a couple of these bolts and then seeing if I can get that shooting rail picked up here by myself and get started.
Now, I don't really care for the wire, or whatever you want to call it, that they put on the floor. They could have used something. If they wanted to use the diamond stuff, they could have used a little thicker plate or something, I think. And I don't know if I'm at the right spot for you to see everything or not. And I gotta watch where I set this camera because the legs on it will fall down through the holes in this diamond plate wiring stuff they got on the floor. That was no good. I don't have an extra nut that size. And I ain't showing the rest tightening these up.
And I did find my nut that I dropped. Okay, we got the shooting rail on. Other than that one bolt that I dropped the nut, I'll go down here and see if I can find it. But if you can tell right there, that clearing right there is my chestnut orchard. And there's a trail cut up through here. It's only 15 yards over there. Deck is up to where my northern whitetail crab trees are planted. And then around to this clearing back here. It's back in behind the blueberry patch where I have my camera in the middle of the property. And then this over here is pretty much all mountain laurel. I want to get a trail cut down through there because there are some younger oaks over in there starting to grow. And that birch tree right there, I'd like to have it going, but I'm probably just going to double girdle it and let it die on its own and fall. Because if I cut it down, chances are it's going to hit that oak tree. There's a bigger one there that's leaning. And then there's a smaller one on back in there behind it. If I would drop that birch, I'm probably going to hit one of them or both of them. I really don't want to knock either one of them out of there. And then down through, there is a trail that comes out down through there, which I may cut it out wider and all, because I want to make one that comes up through on this side of the stand. And then we're back around. I don't know if you can see the pine tree. If I can find it here. There's a pine tree right down in there where that trail comes out to that opening, which is back at the chestnut orchard opening. And I gotta knock down some more stuff here around. Like these that are growing off this birch. Or maple, yeah, birch. I'm gonna knock down at least 3 out of the 5 of them. I may leave 1 or 2 of them stand, just to have a little cover. And that bigger maple tree there, there's some branches that need knocked off of it. If I don't end up just knocking the whole tree over, I may just cut that whole tree over. And I gotta try to get some branches off stuff over here yet too. But the biggest thing is accomplished now. I got the stand up. I ain't gonna put the canvas. All I got left now is the canvas, and there's a couple fiberglass rods that hook into the top of these, go from corner to corner. And I ain't gonna put them on until I get my chain run straight down here from the ball in the middle of this, because I really ain't worried about it blowing over yet. But once that canvas gets put on, that's when I'm worried about it blowing over. And I've got the stand up now. I think it's soon enough for the deer to get used to it that it shouldn't bother them any. Which in here where it's at, I don't know how much it really would bother them, but I wanted to get it in here before archery season started, and I did. So I'm happy with where I'm at right now, as long as I can remember to go to the store and get me a 12-foot piece of chain here in the next week and get this anchored down in the middle. And I do have another bag of Sac Creek that I'm probably going to bring up sometime next week and throw a little more around these legs, because the way I'm looking at being anchored down with that is, I'm thinking them pavers are around 20 pounds, and half a bag of concrete's another 40, so I was wanting to get like 60 pounds on each leg of it, which, if I go putting another bag on, that'll give me another almost 15 pounds per leg, roughly. Because right now I'm looking at 240 pounds between all 4 legs holding it down. And the next bag will make it over 300 pounds divided out amongst all the legs. So I don't think it should flip over or get blew over. And chances are, if it would, it wouldn't go very far here because of these 4 bigger trees around it. Thanks for watching.